I accused my boyfriend of cheating, and now I deeply regret my actions. We had been dating for almost a year when we moved into a small house near his hometown. Everything felt perfect until he mentioned a yearly tradition. Every year on the same date, he flies to California for a few days. When I asked why, he got quiet and changed the subject by inviting me to come along. I had to work that week, so I said no. I knew he was a former Marine and had been stationed out there, so I figured it was just to visit old buddies or relive some memories. I didn't push it. Then something happened that made me spiral. A few days later, he was cooking dinner and left his phone charging in the living room where I was sitting. A text popped up from a name I didn't recognize. The screen was locked, but I'm ashamed to admit I had figured out his password weeks ago. It was the name of his favorite gun. Predictable. I know I shouldn't have looked, but I've been cheated on before. I trusted my ex with everything, and he destroyed me. So when I saw that text, my old wounds took over. The message said, "Don't forget, Maya's favorite beer is Buzz Light. Grab a few cases." My heart dropped. Who was Maya? Why was he buying her favorite beer for a trip he wouldn't explain to me? I closed the phone and pretended I saw nothing, but inside I was falling apart. I went to my work friends for advice, and all three of them said the same thing. He's taking another woman on a romantic getaway. He's cheating. My anxiety exploded. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about how I believed he was the one, and how could he betray me like this? I decided I wasn't going to cry alone. I was going to confront him and catch him in his lies. I came home early that day. He was in the backyard fixing a broken fence post. I called out and told him to come inside. He said he'd be there in a second. I told him to come now. I heard him drop everything and run in. He probably thought I was hurt because when he saw my face, he immediately asked what was wrong. I looked him straight in the eyes and said, "I know you're cheating on me." He froze. Then he actually laughed a little, like I was joking. When he saw my tears, his smile disappeared. He stepped toward me, trying to hold me, but I pushed him away. He looked so confused and hurt. He stepped back and quietly asked, "What made you think I'm cheating?" I told him I knew about Maya. I said I knew he was flying out to see her next week. He nodded slowly and said, "Yeah, I am. I broke." He just admitted it. I started sobbing harder, barely able to breathe, but then he reached into his wallet and pulled out an old photograph. He handed it to me and said, "That's Maya." The photo showed two Marines in full gear, arms around each other's shoulders, rifles in their free hands. One of them was my boyfriend, younger but unmistakable. The other was a woman. She had a wide smile and kind eyes. I had seen this picture before in a memorial post his friend shared online. Maya had taken her own life 3 years ago while they were deployed together. My boyfriend sat down across from me and explained everything. Every year on the anniversary of her death, he flies to California where her family lives. He visits her grave, he has dinner with her parents, he brings her favorite beer, and they share stories about her. It's how they all cope. It's how they remember her. I felt like the worst person in the world. I had taken his grief and turned it into something ugly. I accused him of betrayal when he was honoring someone he lost. I started apologizing over and over, but he just sat there quietly for a long time. Then he looked at me and said, "I should have told you. I just don't like talking about it. It still hurts." He wasn't angry. He was sad, and that made it worse. We talked for hours that night. He told me about Maya, about the guilt he still carries, about how hard it is to open up. I told him about my past, about the men who broke my trust, about why I assumed the worst. We both cried. We both apologized. And somewhere in that mess, we got closer than we had ever been. He still went to California the following week, but this time, I asked if I could come. He said yes. I met Maya's parents. I visited her grave. I watched my boyfriend cry in a way I had never seen before, and I finally understood what he carries with him every single day. I almost destroyed the best relationship I've ever had because I let my past control me. I assumed betrayal because that's all I had ever known. But he showed me that some people are exactly who they say they are. Some silences aren't hiding lies. They're protecting wounds that haven't fully healed. I'm sharing this because I know I'm not the only one who has let old pain poison something good. If your partner has a part of themselves they don't share easily, maybe give them time instead of suspicion. I almost lost everything by assuming the worst. I'm just grateful he gave me the chance to understand the truth. Full story linked below.